Hello, this is Joyce Liang with the Castro Valley High School Olympian. I'm very excited to announce our special guest today. He is currently representing California's 15th district, which includes Castro Valley and the East Bay, and he is currently running for re-election. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Congressman Eric Swalwell.
Thank you for having me here today, Joyce.
Thank you for being
here
today.
Of course, yeah. First time on campus.
How do you like it at Castro Valley?
I love it. We've had a lot of Castro Valley High School students help out on our campaign, and we spend a lot of time in the community, so it's nice to see where everyone is going to get their education before they head off to college or different trade schools.
Yeah, I know that a lot of high school students intern for your campaign office and also for your office as well. Yeah, and I thought that was really cool.
And this is rodeo week in Castro Valley, so
and you rushed the rodeo parade as well.
Started the rodeo parade last week, and I'll be doing the team penning today. So I'll be getting on a horse and trying to get a bunch of calves into the pen, and then we have of course, the rodeo all weekend long. So looking forward to it. It's a great opportunity to bring everyone in the community together and celebrate our heritage of rodeo season.
Hey, so first question, how was your first term in the office and what were some of your biggest accomplishments?
It was exciting, and it was an opportunity for me to go back to Washington after having been away for about 13 years. I was an intern there back in 2001, and so much different experience now, but I was grabbed and moved by public service when I was an intern there. It kind of inspired me to go to law school and work as a prosecutor for 7 years here in the Bay Area. And I took what I learned coming home as a prosecutor and the desire and want to help people who are victims of crime, and now we're able to help constituents who have their own issues that the federal government are working on. So for example, we've been able to help hundreds of different people who have immigration issues. And so so many people come to our country wanting to realize the opportunity that's here, make their own step toward the American dream, but there's so many barriers and that's in the way that prevents them from doing that. And our office has been able to help a number of people achieve citizenship, and we even did a citizenship oath in my office a few weeks back, which was really exciting. So I would say the work that we've done for the aspiring Americans has been very rewarding.
It's nice how you mentioned that, because I was going to ask you, I know that recently the Senate has passed the immigration reform, but the Congress did not vote yet. Do you think that the immigration reform would pass in the House?
I think it's only a matter of time. The bill that passed in the Senate allows a roadmap to earned citizenship for the 12 million people who are undocumented. It also expedites the family visa backlog. And the challenge in the House of Representatives is the Senate is controlled by the Democratic Party. I'm a Democrat. But in the House, it's controlled by the Republican Party. And there is a great divide in their party about what to do on immigration reform. And I hope that the Speaker of the House, the person who controls whether the House of Representatives does have a vote, I hope he puts it forward for a vote and realizes that to be on the right side of history, you have to support immigration reform. It's always who we've been as a country. And if you're opposing it, I think you're really just pushing a boulder up a hill, because it is only a matter of time. And it's also, most importantly, the right thing to do.
So how is the partisanship like in Congress? How well do you think the Democrats and Republicans are cooperating?
I would say within the chamber, within the institution, we get along very well. The problem that I see is we have so many outside groups that spend so much money in our elections that it's pulling the parties farther and farther to the extremes. So there was a Supreme Court case 2 years ago called Citizens United, which said that any outside group, any corporation could spend an unlimited amount of money on an election. So what we saw in 2012 was $6 billion spent on the election. And when these outside groups spend all this money, what happens is these members of Congress, they get pulled farther and farther to the extremes, because they are being challenged within their own party, not even by members of the other party. That's not the greatest threat. The greater threat is that someone within your own party will come in and say, you're not conservative enough, or you're not liberal enough, and then what that forces the members to do usually is move farther and farther to the right, and that great big center where I think most of us live in, there's not many members who represent that center anymore. And that's I think, too bad, and getting rid of the outside influence of corporate money, I think, could reverse that.
So if you were re-elected again, what would you like to accomplish?
My top goal in this area is to continue to see economic development that can create good paying jobs for people right out of college or mid-career folks who lose their job. Our area is really an area that I think represents the future economy. We have so many great minds, such educated minds in our area, and people who are working on what I think is going to be the future. So clean energy right now, as we try and address climate change, so many people are working on technologies that will allow us to better use the sun and solar and biofuel to produce energy rather than the harmful carbon emissions that we get from fossil fuels. So many people are working in computer science and engineering to make our lives more efficient. So many people are working in the healthcare industry to use biotechnology to make our lives healthier and allow us to live longer lives. And so much of that is happening right here. So I want to be the Congress member that supports that innovation, that makes sure that our students are prepared to go into those fields, but that there are opportunities here for those businesses to grow and create jobs. And I think those are the jobs that will power the 21st century economy.
Yeah, I know today many students aren't receiving as many opportunities because of budget cuts, and for many of the graduating college students, it's hard to find jobs in the market. So what kind of improvements should we expect in the next few years?
What I think we have to strive to is make sure that all of our children, starting before kindergarten, are up to speed with the science, technology, engineering, and math skills. I think without question, when you look at where our economy is going, you have to be trained in science, technology, engineering, and math. You don't necessarily, I think, have to become an engineer or a technologist, but having a basic level of training in that area will allow you to work in this innovation knowledge economy, even if it's in a support capacity of some sort. Now, I talked about the solar panels and the wind farms that I predict we're going to see more and more of as we learn how we can better store that energy. There's going to be, I think, thousands, if not millions, of new jobs created around people who not only design these new energy systems, but also the people who have to install them in the different buildings, the people who will maintain them once they're installed. And so having an understanding, though, of science, technology, engineering, and math, I think is critical. And right now, we're still in the middle of the pack when it comes to first world countries as far as how our students are prepared.
Yeah, I know my math teacher always tells us about STEM as well, science, technology.
And only one school district in my congressional district has a full K through 12 STEM program. And so it's my hope that we can support from a federal level whatever these school districts need so that every school has, in short order, a program that's preparing our students.
That's good. So back then you were a soccer player and you received a scholarship to University of Maryland's soccer team, but I heard that you had an injury, so then you had to take back the scholarship.
So I grew up in this area playing soccer, oldest of 4 boys, and that was my passion and my dream was to play college soccer. And my parents' dream was for me to be the first in our family to go to college. And soccer was the ticket to do that. And so I worked hard and earned a Division I soccer scholarship. I actually went to a little school in North Carolina called Campbell University, a small Division I school. I played 2 years there and went all over the United States playing other schools, played at Duke, played at North Carolina, some of these exciting historical athletic programs, and went to places that my parents probably never would have been able to take me. But after 2 years, like many young athletes, I thought I was invincible and succumbed to an injury. I broke both my thumbs. I was a goalkeeper, so an 8-fingered goalkeeper wasn't going to help anyone. So I was fortunate that my high school journalism teacher, and who also was my economics teacher and the leadership teacher and the speech and debate coach, he called me and said, Eric, I know you've lost the athletic scholarship, but you always had an interest in public affairs and the news and public service. Maybe you should consider applying for an internship in Washington, D.C. And so out of the blue, not knowing much about politics, not coming from a political family, I sent off a resume and on a lark applied and was accepted to work for my member of Congress, who at the time represented Castro Valley as well. Her name's Ellen Tauscher.
Okay.
And went back to Washington, D.C. And worked as an intern in the summer of 2001.
Mm-hmm. So you were in speech and debate and journalism back in Dublin High School?
Most of it, I think I did because I was so competitive.
Okay.
I played soccer and football, and I played tennis during the off season just to kind of stay competitive. And mock trial and speech and debate, I enjoyed the public speaking part. I enjoyed looking at an issue and trying to persuade someone to believe in what I was saying. But I think, being a soccer athlete, a lot of that was motivated just by, enjoying how sharp my mind was when I was competing. I don't think I appreciated until I did the internship in Washington, D.C., how much those skills had actually helped me and kind of lit a flame within me that would want to serve the public.
So if you didn't receive the injury, would you have been in the political field?
I was just naive enough to think that I'd be playing professional soccer. So I'd probably be chasing different professional soccer teams all over the world, and then would probably burn out and start coaching. Like, that's kind of the arc of soccer. You play in college, play professionally, and then you coach. And I never really thought beyond that. That's just kind of what I wanted to do. And life always throws you curveballs and the unexpected. And I was very fortunate that I had a teacher to guide me toward Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you were a Dublin High School 1999 grad.
That's right.
How is the Bay Area different from before?
I would say that for the better, it's become much more diverse, especially in Dublin, Pleasanton, Livermore, San Ramon area. They have seen great economic development that has attracted people from all over the world, and so many different ethnic populations, which I think has made our community richer. And I think we're benefiting from that, and we're learning from other cultures, and I think that is also creating many more jobs. There's a connection, a correlation between somebody who comes to our country and leaves their family and livelihood behind and takes a risk to come here, and somebody who takes a risk to start a job or start a business, create a job, grow the business. And so if you're going to take a risk to come to our country, you're very likely going to take a risk in business and create jobs and grow the economy. And I think we're seeing the value of an immigrant population in the Tri-Valley right now, and that's why I think it's so critical that we pass immigration reform.
Said. Okay, so we're going to have one round of questions. We only have a minute.
Okay.
Yes, so we'll start now. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so Giants or A's?
A's.
Favorite movie?
Ooh, I would have to say A Few Good Men.
49ers or A's? Or 49ers or Raiders?
That one's tougher. I would say, keep it East Bay, Raiders.
Okay. Favorite fast food place?
Ooh, definitely Los Pericos, Mexican place in Dublin, and they've got a few of them out here.
Starbucks or Pete's?
Starbucks.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite food?
Favorite food is definitely Mexican.
Washington or the Bay Area?
Bay Area.
All right. Favorite sport?
Soccer.
Favorite music?
I would definitely say country.
Favorite artist?
Favorite artist? You're stumping me here. I would say Butch Walker is a country rock band that I have on my. I probably have more songs there. U2, Bruce Springsteen. So a little bit country and rock.
Hobby?
Running, trying to play the guitar. I have a guitar, but don't sound anything like those that I listen to.
Me too. Me too. Okay. Favorite color?
Blue. Well, thank you, Joyce. Yeah, appreciate it.
This interview. It's been an honor to meet you, and thanks for coming out to Castro Valley High School.
Of course. And this is Congressman Eric Swalwell, special edition for the Olympian.